live. So, hi everybody, welcome to the stream. I hope everybody can hear me all right. I am the TheHiveLeader. If you don't know me, I'm a MMO YouTuber, streamer, self-proclaimed comedian, although that's debatable. And I am here playing Pantheon Rise of the Fallen, one of the most exciting MMOs, or at least one of the most exciting MMOs for me, coming up, especially if you like old school MMOs like EverQuest and Vanguard. This is an MMO you want to watch out for. And with me, I've got a nice group of the devs here. I'm going to let Ben Dean, the producer of the game, introduce them. So, Ben?
Thank you, Hive. Thanks for having us, man.
Not a problem.
With us today, we have Brad Airdune McQuaid, who will be playing a warrior along with myself, Ben Dean, Mikhail as a warrior.
Hey guys, thanks for checking out the game with us.
And we've got Corey Zathos, or today Zathos Lefevre, who is our senior designer. He will be playing the rogue.
Hey gang, glad to be here. Thanks for dropping by.
We have Kim Morrison, whose name in-game is Zoe. She'll be playing the enchanter.
Hi, everyone.
And last but not least, we have Chris Joppa Perkins, who's playing a shaman today.
Hey everybody, glad for another round. Excited to be here with you, Hive. This is going to be fun.
Indeed. And I'm going to be playing Cleric. I'm going to try to keep us all alive to the best of my ability. Don't piss me off or I'm going to let you die.
Well, and conversely, if things go bad, we know where to point the finger.
Indeed. It's always the healer's fault.
We think of these things ahead of time. We need to have a convenient scapegoat. And thanks for coming, Hi. Thanks for letting us be here. So we're going to see Black Rose Keep. For those of our viewers who have been keeping up this week, we've been doing a few streams with different streamers. We've been doing Black Rose Keep. We're going to do something similar today. We're going to head in here, and without further ado, I'm actually going to turn things over to Chris to tell us a little bit more about what we're going to be seeing here.
Yeah, cool. Well, yeah, Chris Perkins here, creative director, playing the shaman. I sent a tweet earlier to see what people thought I should play for this stream, especially those who've been watching the last few. And DPS definitely seemed like an obvious choice to help even things out, but I wanted to go for something a little more creative here and run a parallel healer like the shaman, who also has some pretty strong offensive pressure as well. So we'll see how this goes. We're standing in front of Black Rose Keep. We have also bumped our level up just a tad. We've been running this at level 20 to simulate spending a night in Black Rose Keep, leveling up. We're now at level 22. So we're up 2 levels for this run. I don't think it'll give us that big of an edge. I think it's still obviously going to come down to strategy and tactics and execution, but we'll see how it goes.
Hold on.
Let's head on in.
Sorry, you said simulate level 22. So I was the only guy who actually grinded out here last night for 2 levels.
How long would that take?
Well, I'll tell you how long it took me. It took me all. No.
Yeah, how long did that take?
Okay, we've got 2 incoming.
Took
We can take this magic user first.
All the packs to get 4 levels, I think.
Yeah. I saw you level up a few times during packs.
Uh-oh.
Well, these first guys are pushovers.
Well, he doesn't.
Yeah,
like
they're
me.
much lower level than we are.
Anyway, did you all decide to bump up because you knew my level of skill? Is that the reason we're bumping up here?
Exactly. No, just kidding.
Yes.
We did it so that hopefully we get a little, quite honestly, we get a little farther into the dungeon tonight.
Don't worry.
We knew that you wouldn't want to hang out with low levels, so
No, that's normal.
We've heard that. No noobs.
we wanted to impress you artificially.
Indeed. I'm just gonna sit here and watch y'all's mana and not do anything.
You guys are doing great. I'm setting up my hotkeys right now, so keep up the good work.
Thanks for the morale.
Thanks, Chris.
Indeed. Oh, I need to buff y'all. So we do that.
Things you don't want to hear the cleric say after combat has started.
Oh yeah, buff, right.
All right, just out of OCD, I'm going to clear out these last 2 guys, even though they're not
Yep.
attacking. Oh, $T. That's the wrong command.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be %T. There we go.
There we go. Throw a damage spell in there every once in a while. What on earth is that? Oh, I guess when it goes into combat, it gives a little like a trumpet sound.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, well, when they aggro you,
When you
right?
get aggro, when something aggroes you, that's what you'll hear.
Okay. That's actually kind of nice. I thought something was going terribly wrong.
Well, it heralds the possibility of that. Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
They're not mutually.
Something will go horribly wrong, but it'll be another half an hour or so.
And it'll all be Brad's fault.
And it usually is.
All right, let's head on in.
I'm getting buffed. I'm getting healed.
I've been around the block before. Okay, so I see what you mean. So you need to meditate to regain mana. Everybody who hasn't played an old school MMO before, you'll either need to, out of combat, you'll sit down to regain. Okay, so there we go, I just sat down. Or when you're in combat, it looks like you just kind of pray. That's kind of nice. That's cool.
Right. Yeah, like Chris said, it'll be more efficient out of combat,
Yeah.
but we haven't been tweaking those numbers yet.
Well, it's nice. I like it.
Yeah.
Very cool.
All right, stay here. I'm gonna just pull from inside this
Here,
hall.
hold on a second.
Oh, too late.
that's-
Two incoming.
I was just going to give you a
3.
shield, but that's cool.
All right.
Always wait for your shield, man.
By 2, do you mean 3? You mean
Yeah.
3, right?
Well, it's the
Yep.
Canadian too.
They're similar numbers. 2 and 3 are very similar.
It's after the U.S. exchange rate in Canada here. That's
That was funny, man.
Man, we're throwing shade at Canada early.
Yeah.
Well, I can do so because I am Canadian. So
Yeah, I know.
Just
That's
throwing
the
that
only
out there, you know. I don't want.
We have a decent amount of Canadians.
I'm with you,
out
brothers
there.
and sisters.
That's right. We keep a decent amount of Canadians so that we have people to make fun of them.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
always
it's a living.
And they seem to be very skilled and talented and passionate, so it's
Aw.
a win-win. It's a win-win.
That's right. I'm gonna go
Make
first.
fun of them and make a cool game.
They need to send us more waffle sauce, though.
Yeah, we need some more of the real maple.
Got 2 incoming.
That would
3
be
incoming.
So just to speak to this for a second, we're level 22. I want to try to do a better job this stream, actually reporting on what level of things we're fighting. So there's a consideration system in the game where if you hit the C key,
Yeah, so
it's going to give you a little bit of insight into the level of what you're fighting. So
Yeah, I did
don't know
that
if you've
just
done
in
that
the
yet,
corner
Hive,
here.
but-
Yeah, I just went ahead and did it here. So these are green to us. They're
Yep.
not a hard one. I was actually going to say the consideration system or the con system back in EverQuest actually helped me pass like high school English. Where it's like he looks at you or they consider you dubiously. They can. I was like, yes, I now know what.
So that
dubious
became like
means.
your opening statement in a lot of your creative writing assignments, right?
That's correct. Without that, I would have failed high school English.
The word dubious came up a dubious amount of
The old
times.
woman glared at him threateningly.
I could see where that'd be very useful in high
The
school.
dubious woman dubiously looked at me dubiously. And the
Okay,
teacher
let's-
flunked me anyway.
Let's come on in. We can sort of fight inside here now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
so
3 of them.
let's
Oh, there's only
4.
4.
yep.
5.
Okay,
4.
cool.
I think the same strategy might have been best here to hug this wall. So once these are clear, let's do that and come around to the side just a little bit.
We're
So once the
alright.
danger is gone, play it safe. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Hey, that's on you, bro. That's on you. The danger that you brought upon us. Yes.
Well,
Cool, bro.
just wanted to make things exciting.
Got to keep it interesting for stream.
So we definitely keep it interesting.
So I have a question. How do classes like the cleric or the shaman is kind of a DPS / healer class? Is the cleric or are all classes going to kind of be able to dual role, I guess, in some way, shape, or form? Or are you going to be kind of like cleric is heals, and that's kind of the way you are?
Yeah, I don't know that I'd go so far calling it a dual role.
Or
we
just
have
kind of
toyed
a
around
hybrid
with something
type?
like that early on. Yeah, I mean, it depends on your definition of hybrid, right? You know, there's hybrid where you've got, you know, melee who kind of share the spell casting of a parent class. Then you've got hybrid in terms of role, like I'm a healer and a damage dealer. We like to think of classes more as a whole, like as a holistic entity, like they are what they are. So the shaman, by nature, yes, does weave in his heal over times with his damage over time abilities, and then you have your, you know, your pretty substantial utility spells like your slow, like your debuffs. And so the goal would be to kind of wrap every healer around that. They have that core healing role that they do in different ways. Shaman over time, clerics direct, druids indirect, but then you kind of around that you wrap their utility and kind of the horizontal things they bring to the group. For shaman, it is a little more in the area of damage over time anyway, and debuffing or buffing. Shaman's probably the one that I've shared the most about and the one we've seen the most of since we just streamed him yesterday. But then there'll be more information coming out on the cleric and the druid and how that's fleshed out.
Yeah, I am interested in the druid. I read that they're going to be doing a lot of indirect healing. Is that correct?
Yep, that's right.
And is it going to be more like doing damage while, or doing damage and healing through that?
It's a great question, and we'll answer it soon.
Cool. I like indirect heals, so that's one of my things.
And indirect answers to questions.
Anybody who knows anything about me, which is usually the only thing they know me for, is the fact that I like to heal. So that's really the only thing people know me for.
Yeah, I'm noticing too in chat here, when you're seeing healer hands 25, just can't say enough how much balance and tuning, how conscientious we are of that. And so we have various test sets throughout the level range that are kind of kitted with the stats, the statistics that should be somewhat representative of what the stat spread at that level should be. That said, anyone who knows game design knows that you establish the rules or the standards so that you can thoughtfully break them in creative ways. So that doesn't mean that that is what every level 20 or every level 25 character will have stat-wise. That just means that's kind of a median that gives us a tuning point. I'd like to stop here as well real quick, guys, and just mention that if you just take this room in for a second, we've mentioned this the last two streams that we're building our areas to have a pretty dynamic level spread where you're going to see this dungeon is level 8 to 35. You asked this before the stream started. We don't think of dungeons as this is a mid-20s dungeon or this is a level 20 dungeon. We think of it in terms of pretty sizable spreads to keep players coming back at different points. But this room is a great example. We haven't really focused in on this yet, but if you look up and see the balconies there, those balconies have level 18 to 22 mobs. And this floor we're on down here has level 8 to 13 mobs. And so this is an example of where you would see lower level groups and a little bit higher level groups existing in the same area, sharing this environment together, which we think is really cool. And it's kind of indicative of our level design. So just wanted to point that out before we move through.
A small question on that. I remember back in, like the original EverQuest, if you were a low level hanging out and somebody like in Blackborough or something, and somebody comes by and gives you a buff who's, level 50 and they come by and give you a buff, is that going to apply here as well where like you all of a sudden you're super OP because they gave you a level 50 buff?
Well, yeah, that would apply in the sense that we want to have that kind of higher level to lower level interaction as well. I mean, what do we love about being high level, right? We love really cool gear and we love walking around in really cool gear. We love having awesome abilities and we love showing off those abilities. And sometimes that's, doing our thing in combat, but sometimes that's going to a lower level area or a city and helping other players, interacting with other players that way. So absolutely, we want to foster that. We want to keep an eye on that and don't want that to run rampant. But that's definitely something that we like.
Cool. If I hit one of these guys up on the ledge, would they run down to me and cause a train?
You better believe they would. Yeah.
Oh, don't
Yeah,
tempt me.
it-
Okay,
it
never mind.
No, they wouldn't do that. Of course not.
They just ignore you as you kill them from a distance. All right, let's head out into this back door here. Unless there's another way
Yeah,
you
so-
want, Chris.
No, this is great, and this is a new way. So the last 2 times we've streamed this, we've gone down that right hallway. We're going to switch it up a little bit today and see how we fare.
That's good.
We're going to actually move out into the courtyard here. I would fight him away from the entrance to that door. I know that Fionn, the commander, likes to roam around this courtyard, so we need to be really conscientious of where she's at.
Okay, I'm actually gonna pull into the corner there, guys. If you just want to stay there,
All right, wait for
I'll
your
tell you when
shield.
it's clear.
Now go.
Go to the corner.
in the corner.
I'm in the corner with you.
So if we were to hang out here all night to level up, would we just like find a spawn camp and just chill out like you would back in the olden days, where you would literally just kind of like
Absolutely. I'm going to model that right now. See,
sweet.
here I am.
I'm doing the same.
Yep.
Now I can just imagine another group sitting in the corner
Yeah,
opposite.
the corner
of
opposite and
us.
just taking turns
Yeah.
pulling.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the
Or
good
not
days.
necessarily taking turns, depending on how courteous of a group they are.
The good old days.
Oh!
Yep, heads up, Pat. Lag.
But yeah, this would be, the dungeon run aspect would be if this zone were empty, as it is now, and all the mobs are up. We're a level 22 group. Right now, we're pushing back in deeper to find where we want to set up.
2 incoming.
That's how we could think of this.
Yeah, because right now we're still fighting pretty easy stuff.
Yeah, these guys con green to me. Sorry, I'm not doing a good job with considering.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
both of these
taking
mobs
care
con
of it.
green.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, nice, man. Nice. Good. I'd rather them see it from that perspective anyway.
Yeah, and it's possible that since we're a higher level group, if we had been doing this a while, we would probably be a little bit more aggressive in coming in here. But this just kind of shows you a little bit of
By aggressive, you mean going invis and
yeah, aggressively invising.
yeah.
Yeah, or if we wanted to, we could just clear all of this out to where we were going to camp.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, let's come in and let's go left.
Sounds good.
Should stay out of Fionn's way that way and give us some room to clear out. Got 2 incoming.
All right, we're getting into some higher level stuff here. This bruiser, for example, is
Dang, he's hitting you hard. Okay,
Yeah.
I got you.
slowing. He's slowed.
See, there's Fionn over there. I'm a
He's
little
got
bit nervous.
con light yellow to me.
Let's move a little closer to the trees. I'm really worried that Fionn's gonna.
If we need to probably get back inside, or at least it might be better to eat the aggro of this guardsman here on the stairs to
Yeah.
get out of her range. Yep.
Okay,
Let's move over here.
tuck into the corner over here.
Follow me. Hurry.
On the way.
Quick!
Right now. Nope. It's too
Oh,
late.
too late.
You gotta hug the wall.
Whoa. Okay then.
It's a wipe.
Woo. All right then.
Just like to say, that was not me. I'm gonna be that guy. It wasn't me.
Well, yeah. If the shaman would CC.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, that shaman. My goodness.
Oh, corpse run.
Yeah, you know what? We might be able to. I wonder if we can run in. Have things respawned, do you reckon? Yeah, they have.
So I think the best strategy, honestly, is going to be to hang out in that room that we were in by the
Yeah.
cabinet
Sure.
and make sure we clear everything out but her. And
Fight her out in the court.
then we'll run to her room, or we can fight her in the courtyard.
Okay.
Probably better to fight her in the courtyard.
Yeah, because the room has pathers and stuff. Okay.
How do I get my stuff back?
Also, strategy-wise, while we're kind of doing this, the Francia mages, that mage that hit us there at the end, they have a very hard-hitting AE freeze that is really important for melee classes, especially to be aware of, because it will hit you really hard and then it'll root you in place. And if it hits you before you're in combat range, you're just going to be standing there, unable to do anything. So you want to get in close to the Francia mages quickly, and then healers need to be ready for the damage coming from them.
Okay,
Gonna get you a res here in a second, Hive.
cool.
But you feel the difficulty difference right there. You know, we come into the
Hey,
courtyard,
Wonder
we
Sorry.
fight our first level appropriate mob, and things got a little different.
There we go. There you go, him. Okay, who haven't I buffed?
Let's get the rest of these bodies out here. Does everybody have their bodies? Anybody still waiting? Okay.
Toss me the Inshire's Whisper when you can, Zoe. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We got
I
who?
just have Crags. I don't have the cleric buffs.
Okay, I got it.
Thank you.
So for the sake of the stream, I suggest that once we clear an area, we just use GM kill to keep the ads down so we can focus on progressing. So if anything spawns in this little section, we'll just...
Nuke it.
All right.
It's for stream purposes, obviously, but it's also because the respawn time is about 3 times as fast as it should be normally. So
Okay, this is going to be a relatively big pull. Shoot. It's going to be 2 or 3. Are you
So
ready?
4 or 5. Okay.
Yeah.
ready here.
All right, incoming.
As ready as I'm gonna be.
2 so far. We'll see if they pick up any along the way. Gonna do the bruiser first.
Slowing. Slow landed. Health's up all around. Gonna throw on some dots.
For it.
Well, he's gonna
Stop taking
resist
damage,
dots first.
making my job harder. Okay, so this one's actually yellow. Whoa!
Is that AE?
There's that E. Yeah. By the frozen yogurt mage.
What's going up? There we go.
I'm rooted. Give me 1 sec. There we go.
I don't have any dispels or anything, do I?
I don't believe
No, not at the moment. No.
Okay.
single caster coming in.
So I notice a lot of my skills also have cooldowns. Is that to keep from spam and everything?
When you say a lot of your skills, are you talking about your healing spells?
Yeah, so like a lot of my healing spells have cooldowns, and they have like my shield has cooldowns, and
Yeah, the healing abilities have a standard cooldown to them, and that's across the board for all the healing classes.
okay.
3 incoming.
But again, pre-alpha, lots of tuning to come. Don't read too much into those at the moment.
It just makes things. I feel like it makes things a little more strategic. So like I can't just sit there and spam my attack skill.
Yeah, for sure. And that wasn't an apologetic appeal to pre-alpha.
We
That's
got a
just to
vassal.
say
We
that-
got these guys. I'm going to pull them out into the
Whoa!
courtyard. I hope you didn't get aggro, but I suspect you might have.
Yeah, go out and die.
Yeah, they're coming into you.
Go out and die.
We were fighting too close to the
What?
doors.
Yeah, we've got to keep back by the cabinet.
Okay,
Just look
see
for the
that
big
time
one.
it wasn't me. That wasn't me that time.
No, no, it sure wasn't.
Still my fault. Okay. Chat says it's still my fault. So
You know, it amazes me every time we do this, whether it's on stream or internal, how the years and years and years spent playing these games in like dungeon run mode. Like it's always advancement. We're always, inching forward and advancing. How there's just this like automatic, almost subconscious movement forward, and the thought of hanging tight in an area waiting for it to be clear is just really hard to remember to do.
yeah. Can I get a teleport in? Oh, I guess Joppa's out here with me too. Cool. Healer rule number 1, it's always the healer's fault.
Yeah, here's the two healers standing here together.
There we go. Alright, I gotta rebuff everybody. So while I'm sitting here doing this, how long is the leveling curve? So, I mean, is it going to be longer than... I know normal MMOs of today seem to be pretty dang quick. You can get a level in 15 minutes, which is a little ridiculous. I'm assuming this will be a little bit longer, kind of like, again, the original EverQuest where it was a bit longer.
Yeah, well, it will be a little longer. I can't get into details on that. We can't get into details on that right now. But so the answer is more philosophical, and that's just to say that we want the levels to be meaningful when they're achieved. We want that feeling of being level 50 and really feeling like you've accomplished something significant, not only personally, but the player base, the community as a whole, seeing that as a significant accomplishment. But not just level 50. I mean, level 25. Being in Black Rose Keep at this level to do this content should feel meaningful and like you've really accomplished something significant. So that's more of a philosophical answer. Obviously, doesn't give into the nuts and bolts, but give you a sense of where we're going with it.
Yeah, and we're constantly getting feedback, like Chris was saying. We're constantly getting feedback, not only internally as we test, but also externally as well. The game is currently in pre-alpha, which means every few weeks or so we have a few sessions where we allow the pre-alpha pledgers to come in and play, and then they can offer that sort of feedback as well. If pre-alpha sounds like something that interests you, it is available until May 2nd. We have a package available. You can find out more information about that by going to pantheonmmo.com/packs.
That was a good pitch.
Thanks. Thanks, man.
It's almost like you've said that before.
It's almost like you've rehearsed that. It's crazy.
It's weird. We'd like to send a thank you to all of our viewers and all of our orders at pantheonmmo.com. Your one-place shop for Pantheon pledges.
What the hell?
We got to pop.
Where'd you come from? He just popped up.
Yeah, he just spawned.
Yeah, he's an easy one, I think.
Just because I know the question is going to come, eventually, if a mob engages you while you're sitting, they will hit you definitely.
Yeah.
not stand there
And,
and,
and
and
hard.
swing at you endlessly while you're sitting there just staring at them.
I'm a little disconcerted because I don't know where Fionn is, but I'm going to start pulling and hope that she doesn't just randomly show up.
I'm sure you'll be fine. I'm sure
Another
there
small
won't
question.
You coming?
goes wrong.
If we were to, say, try to run away from these mobs, would they follow us all the way to zone, or would they de-aggro eventually?
They would follow us all the way to the zone.
Cool. Okay, that's what I wanted to hear.
Then they'll zone with you and follow you through that zone.
Okay, that's getting a little hardcore, guys.
No, it's a
I'll follow your
disclaimer
character,
that
the
will
character's
not
strain.
actually happen.
That won't happen.
Let me be very clear about this. That will not happen.
It is a joke, everybody.
I think it's a great idea.
Oh.
I don't think it's a bad idea, per se.
You could really mix up the population of zones. You never know what's going to be where.
Mhm.
All right. Oh! I see Fionn and her gang of thugs.
All right, so we need to go ahead and back up here, back up to this wall.
Done.
And when you say back up to the wall, you mean back up to the wall.
I mean, back up to the wall. Yep.
Yeah, I learned that last time.
Joppa, I can still see your muscly back.
Good.
You've been working out, man? Looking good.
It's an ogre thing.
Fionn and her gang are walking out into the courtyard now. They are now staring at the fire pit with the one mob that I want to pull.
Shh, be very quiet.
We're hunting Fions.
I can't.
So this would be a perfect
I can't do no more.
perfect time where something like the perception system, let's say, like, look at all these, the cabinet, the boxes, there's a chest over there. We've just come out of a room, once cleared, there's a table there with, you know, food and goblets of wine and tapestries. There's so many things in here to take notice of and potentially actually be able to dive into the
don't bite
background of.
Trying to get
Bring them all the way back to the
closer.
wall.
All the way
It's hard because they're casters, so I'm gotta LOS them.
Yeah, just as far as you can. As far as you can, it's fine.
Alright, here we go. This should be alright.
There we go.
They died assertively. Or dubiously.
So another question that I know I probably have the answer to, but other than, again, the original EverQuest, what are some of your, I guess, inspirations for Pantheon? Have you all been looking at any modern MMOs for inspiration, or are you really looking at the older, you know, the older grandfather MMOs to really pull from?
You know,
Man,
Chris will have more of an answer to it, but just speaking from my experience here, it just astounds me whenever I have a conversation with multiple staff people. Everybody says kind of the same thing. There's a breadth of experience across the team. Most, granted, have sort of a classic history, but the amount of MMOs that we've played collectively just astounds me. I don't think there's a single MMO in existence that one or several of us have not already played.
Well, that's good. It's good to get a good break.
yeah, I almost feel like we could go around and each of us answer that question individually. I'll tell you this, for me personally,
3 incoming.
obviously EverQuest was a significant one. Classic World of Warcraft as well. As much heat as that game takes, I'm gonna slow the cruiser here.
Oh, get back in
I'm
range.
actually mezzing it.
Mac needs a heal.
Stay in
Slow
line.
landed.
Stay in
Heal's
line,
coming
stay
on
in
Mac.
line, Stay in line in
Thank you,
sight.
Yeah. I'm just trying to keep them in the back corner here.
I think one way I'd answer that is that we're building we have a classic foundation, but on top of that foundation are a lot of new ideas, either from modern MMOs or that we've come up with ourselves that we've wanted to see in MMOs for a long time.
Got that.
Doing the bruiser.
I've got it.
Yeah. Going back to that, I think what's what is actually surprising is how much classic single-player game mechanics, and I don't mean like, you know, Witcher 3 type modern single-player in PC games. I'm talking like some of the old-school single-player games. There are some really, really interesting mechanics that you would never imagine or never think to connect to MMO gameplay, but they do so well. And there's some things that I'm excited for us to share more about. You know, and more in the realm of the horizontal experience, the horizontal aspect. I'm not talking about platformers or, you know, things like that, but just some really interesting mechanics that you'll find in some of those classic era console games even, that are just really interesting and actually find a pretty unique place in MMO gameplay, and pretty compatible too, which I think is really cool.
That's good answers all around.
So tomorrow we'll read a headline about how Pantheon is planning to be the first massively multiplayer online platforming game.
Yep.
Yeah.
You said it.
Slash.
You heard it here first, everybody.
Yes.
Yep.
There we go.
/ RTS life sim.
If you can't pick one thing to be, might as well be them all.
I don't know. I heard WoW Killer in there.
I heard that too. But don't you know every game that's coming out next is the WoW Killer?
Yeah.
Okay, the courtyard is free to come out now. Fion's in
You
her
sound so confident, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Need to
well-
hug walls.
So if you face right, you'll see Fion coming out of there at some point. I don't know if we want to fight her out here or where.
Anywhere,
What
really.
What do we do now, Chris?
I think we should fight her
Yeah,
out
I mean,
here.
fighting her out here would be nice because you've got some more room.
So
She's
much
got some
room.
nasty AE,
Yeah.
so we can get some nice distance.
Okay,
That
so
would be
when
my
she,
vote.
yeah, let's do that. So when she comes out of that door, the idea is Zathos will what's the smoke and mirrors? On the boss, and then Zoe will mez the female, and I will attack the male.
Right.
Yep. And just so you know, as a healer, Hive, we need to. This is a tank buster boss, so you need to front load your heals on Ben.
You got it.
His health will go down really, really fast. And I'm going to support you in that. My goal is going to be to try and keep all three of these slowed. And then I'll support you with heals and DPS then as I can, if possible.
You got
Okay,
it.
Zoe, do you have yours targeted? I know it's hard to see in the dark.
I'm targeted on Fion.
Okay. Zoe?
I've got the female bass.
Okay. I'm gonna charge then. Ready? Here we go.
Whoa. Are there any ads over there?
Yeah, we have a couple bats. We should be alright though.
That was me.
Okay.
Okay, I can mez them. Got
We
this.
lost Zathos, but
There was about 3 additional ones that pulled there, so that's my concern. We've got repops behind, to your right, Hive.
I see him.
let's get closer to the fire then. There's
Please
Fion.
keep your distance from the boss.
Oh, we lost a chanter.
Yeah.
Boss is slowed, and she's on me.
Yeah, the chanter's down.
Yep.
It was really hard to see those. We had cleared them, but they had respawned.
Rough.
Shaman healing power, go. Can't take me down.
So is she an actual boss or just a mini boss?
No, she's
She's a mini boss.
Oh, mini boss.
But we will not be successful if we have any ads at all. So be mindful of that far wall.
Mhm.
I think we had a Raven in that mix, which is the first time I think we've seen a Raven, a Black Rose Raven on the stream. Did we have a Raven in that mix?
I think that's the first time.
They are exceptionally nasty. So
We should get everyone back on our buffs. And...
Yep, we'll give her another go. We can do this, I believe.
yeah, we got this. We got this. We've got to be really surgical.
Does my revive work in
Let's
combat?
come back to
I'm
our
going
cabinet.
to assume it does.
It does work in combat, yes.
Okay, I should have done that then. Next time I'll do that. All right.
Okay.
Well, while I'm waiting,
Oh, sorry. Can I grab some buffs and then I'll start peeling and. see
well,
we
if you
can
want
get
to pull me
Raven.
back, I'm still stuck out here.
Oh, sorry.
Everybody gets to teleport around except me.
Let me go find your corpse.
What about you, Hive? I'm interested to hear, your MMO background. I know you've mentioned playing EQ a lot.
Yeah, so
What is it specifically about Pantheon that draws you?
Well, again, it's the EQ parallel. Really, I mean, it's that old school feel. So I started off playing MMOs back in like the Mud days, and then I played The Realm and Meridian 59 and UO, and then EverQuest. And EverQuest was like my longest period of time, where I played that like the time it came out until like Warcraft launched. So that's like my main MMO background is freaking all EverQuest all the time. And I was a cleric in that. I raided. I did everything back in EQ. So that's why, again, the moment I heard Pantheon, I saw Pantheon, and I was like, ooh, I want that. It gives me the feels, the nostalgia feels.
Yeah, us too.
And that's the big reason. I'm not a hugely nostalgic person, but yet for whatever reason, EverQuest does it for me. It's like the one MMO that does it for me.
Dude, I was counting the amount of hours that I put on my characters there, and it's over 10,000 since the early days.
So right now, I just went through and cast a round of buffs. First, Grip of the Crags, which is a line. Level 18 is when I got the last upgrade to this line, and it increases strength and stamina by 6 for 36 minutes. And then also Interlocking Stones, which is an earth-based buff that increases armor class.
So just real quick, people had said they were kind of interested in the skills for the cleric and everything like that. So just to show these off here, real quick while we're
Two
kinda
incoming.
waiting. We've got
Sorry.
4 heals on my bar right here. We've got kind of a lighter heal, just meant for healing up people. I'm stuck behind an
Raven.
orc.
Oops, sorry.
Blowing Raven.
So I've got a light heal, a little bit stronger heal, and then I've got 2 quick heals, so a stronger and slower quick heal. I've got a shield buff. That just
Nice.
kind of shields people. Then I've got a DPS, or a like melee DPS ranged skill. I need to turn around. Okay. My 1 offensive ranged attacker. I got 2 here. Call Undead as well. I've got a Celestial Focus, so I'm going to cast that on myself next time. I keep forgetting about that one. Which increases the casting, or decreases the casting time on my heal spells, a revive, and then 2 different buffs, one that does armor class and one that does armor class and health. So that's kind of what the cleric skills look like, is 4 heals, 1 small, 1 big, and then faster small and big ones. Shield, and some deeps. Healer deeps. That was funny.
Okay. Fionn is back in her room now. So I think it's alright to come out.
All right. Bail, everybody, bail.
Those are kind of turning into famous last words. Yeah, it's safe to
Yeah,
come on
I
out.
know. See, and just as I say it, something respawns by this fire here.
Just remember, it's my fault.
Right. Okay, let's move back to this door and wait for Fionn to come out that other door.
Sounds good.
There's another pop right there. He's a mercenary.
Gosh. Whereabouts?
Over there he's like at the foot of the stairs on the right, on our side.
Okay, so that didn't tell me.
I'm not seeing it.
Over by her room, to the right of her room. There on the steps.
Yeah.
I don't see anything there. That's
Behind the barrels.
Oh,
Corey's,
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
right there
touch
behind that
yeah.
barrel.
yeah. I got it now.
It's right there.
If only we had some way to light up areas from a distance.
Like a flare.
Why don't I have a light spell? Not true. I actually think I do have a light spell. Somebody said something about a light spell. I think I have one. Somewhere. Yeah, but
Okay,
it's
so
gonna, I'd
let's-
have to actually sit there and like, put it on my bar. Not gonna bother.
Let's move to this fire because Fionn just does a big loop, and I just want to make sure that she doesn't come behind us.
All right.
Is this fire area the most recent stuff we've cleared?
Yeah,
That would be very convenient. Okay.
there might be one or two that it got kind of messed up with the deaths, but we'll find out. Okay, so when she loops around, we all know who. All DPS should be on the male, and the rogue enchanter know who they're taking care of. So.
All right.
I would suggest you run up to meet her and actually engage her by those stairs.
Yeah, it's just I can't.
And don't let her make it all the way over here.
Ooh, she's
Okay.
yellow.
Be ready with that smoke and mirrors.
Here we go.
Let's go.
Good job. She's slowed. Boss is slowed. Heals on Brad.
I'm gonna
Going to be slowing the male
front load.
vassal next.
I'm front loading Ben.
Smoke and mirrors fading.
Male vassal slowed. Heals on Brad. Slowing female vassal next.
She's not hitting Ben too hard at the moment, or nobody is. So if you need me
If
to,
you don't need to be up close, then stay back.
I can throw some heals on Brad if you don't want to worry about Brad right now and just concentrate on deeps.
Okay, the male
try to keep a
is
slow rotation.
dead. Taking the female next.
Okay, she dispersed.
Oh, I woke the female.
Heal on Brad.
There we go.
Slow refresh on both.
We got another mage there.
Yep.
All right.
Be ready with heals on tanks.
You got it.
Smoke and mirrors fading.
Just cycled hots.
Brad, is your pity of the week up? Never mind, I'm gonna
She
grab her attention.
resisted?
Yeah.
Where's she going?
I don't know. I can't.
Oh.
Call that
Can you
resist,
t-
please.
No, I
Get
think
distance.
someone
Get
attacked her.
distance. She's moving into the camp here. Get distance, casters.
Alright, she's mezzed.
Good.
Okay. Oh,
Cycling slows again.
Oh, no, she woke up.
Okay.
Yeah, I got her.
KE.
Just close enough.
I got her.
Cycling heals. Zoe. Hive.
I'm good.
Who are we on now?
On Fionn.
Okay.
We're on the boss. Burn the boss.
There we go.
Slowing. Gonna put on a dot cycle here.
I'm gonna throw in a few attacks.
Dots are on. You ready with heals on tanks?
On it.
Slowing.
Things get very quiet when we concentrate.
Yeah.
I'm playing
Brilliant.
healer whack-a-mole at the moment. I'm regenerating some mana just because I don't want to run out. I don't know how much longer we got on the fight.
Yep. That's the tough thing about this fight is we're outside of the enchanter's ban and
Brad.
replenishment range for that spell.
Whoa.
Oh, I'm dead.
Ah,
Hot damn.
She's close though. Keep Rad up, and we got it.
Oh, come on.
Throwing a res.
dots.
There we
That's
go.
nice.
Woo!
All right.
Good job, guys.
Nice.
Oh, the taste of sweet victory.
If
Yeah.
if she hadn't have died, I had you resed. I casted that dang res.
Here's the really exciting part. I have not itemized her yet.
It's just the sense of accomplishment is enough, right, Chris?
Woo!
Woo!
It is.
Especially after doing this.
I don't know about that.
I don't know. That was
I
pretty
want
satisfying for
some
me.
loot, man.
Hi, Brad. You're looking pretty good with those swords. Oh, he's running away. Okay. Man, what's the point of playing if there's no loot? I'm out. I quit. Bye, guys.
Yeah.
Rage quit.
Rage quit. Leaving group.
Well, good news. This zone will be available for our third phase of pre-alpha testing, and it will be and she will be itemized by them. Some pretty sweet stuff.
I
So
was gonna see if roll was.
it'll be
roll
in
was
when,
the game.
by the time it counts.
Roll's not in the game.
It is in the game.
It is. Do I have to do a roll / like 1 through 100?
Oh,
There we go.
2.
Oh, I can't. do a
Random
roll with
space 100.
it. Oh, okay. Whoa!
Flying bruiser.
I gotcha.
Oh, rogue.
I got her.
Ward rogue is a dead rogue. Sorry.
Aggro on shaman.
I gotcha. Oh, I'm setting him fire. Ugh. I just broke my own damn rule. Don't stand in the friggin' red.
I don't know. Not standing in fire. I don't know if that's unique to your own rules, but it's kind of a rule of physics.
Something I wanted to ask. So, I have a series called My Dream MMO where I talk about things that would be in my dream MMO. And one of them is multiple races. A lot of MMOs seem to just go with, like, you've got human variants. So you've got elves, but they're basically humans. You've got everything that's basically humans, and then maybe dwarves, but they're just small humans. Again, this game seems to definitely have a wide variety of stuff. What do they have, like, differences between them? So they're going to have different stats attached to them, different, like, elements. So, like, in the original EverQuest, trolls had natural regenerative powers. You know, erudites had higher intellect yet bad eyesight. So are you going to have stuff like that?
Yeah, man, definitely. The races will have their own unique statistical spread. We've got probably
It's a
about
whole party.
5 ads that just ran out of her room there, so
Whoa!
looks like someone may have been AEing.
All
Pull
right,
him through the wall, I guess.
Zoe, I'm going to res you.
One sec, I'll finish answering that here in a second. Ah,
That was a clutch
nice
heal for
clutch.
the rogue. Did my res get off on you, Zoe?
No, try again.
All right, you got it. Nope, wait,
There she
no,
is.
You're up.
all right, I'm leaving you with soul healing for a second. Do some slow.
That's fine.
Oh, he didn't like that.
Oh, he did
I got
not.
him.
There you go. Oop. Heads up, I think we get another spawn.
Yeah, we're gonna get repops here pretty quick.
I'm at about 1/3 mana, just FYI. I'm gonna try to regen a little bit. Everybody's full. Well, never mind.
I'm gonna slow your guardsman, Brad.
Alright.
Now, I will say one thing. Do I have a group heal or not at this level?
You will get one, yes. You don't have it yet.
Something I'm noticing. I don't know if this is intentional or not, but I want to know. Whenever I, like, if I'm looking at or if I'm casting a heal, and then in the middle of casting I switch targets, it's gonna heal whoever I
Won't
switch
keep
to.
your original
Yeah.
target.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
That's actually
Yeah,
I actually like that.
We're gonna fix that.
I actually like
Well,
that.
we're gonna
Can you keep
fix
that?
No,
Oh,
I can't.
It's not a
stand
bug,
it,
it's a
actually.
feature.
I like that. I was actually going to say that allows for
Maybe-
last second decisions.
maybe
If
an option.
something starts happening and like shit goes to hell, then you can suddenly switch and be like, okay, there we go. Got to heal this person instead.
Yeah, but see, then it breaks preemptive too.
true.
So if you know who your next healing target's going to be and you want to pre-select them, then you're going to end up not healing the one you're trying to heal.
Well, right now I like it.
It may be something where we can create an option where you can toggle that on or off or something. Maybe. I don't know. That might be overcomplicating things, but you're the first person who's said that they like it though, so that's interesting feedback.
Well, I mean, that's just again that allows for split-second decisions and split-second changes. Oh, geez.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, you're fine. But that also takes away from the strategic element of it, so I can see it both ways.
Yeah.
Okay, Ben, stop dying. You're making this hard.
Sorry.
Cleric's low on mana. LOM.
Now I'm starting to feel
Let's do the mage next.
Yeah, but to go back to your question, the races will have their own unique traits as far as like starting stats and
What about
things
starting?
we might expect there.
What about starting areas? Are they all going to have different starting areas?
They will. They all have their unique starting area.
I like that.
There'll be a few passive traits for the races as well. You mentioned like the eyesight thing. That's being able to see better in the dark. Having natural regeneration. Those things would all be on the table. The way we're wanting to do kind of familiar but evolved would be that you would see those kind of things with NPCs as well. NPCs would have their own body type. We were actually just talking, Convo and I were talking earlier, and I know he and Corey have had some chats about this as well with the orcs in AVP, the North Tusk orcs. They, which is also a zone we're aiming to have playable by this upcoming testing session. But there's this area in the north of that zone that is actually a frigid climate where these orcs live, and we're just talking about the body types of those orcs and some cool ideas about what they're like in that climate, which obviously opens the door for gameplay with the druid able to manipulate climates, or the strategy of trying to bring those mobs if possible out of their climate, to circumvent how they might be naturally benefiting from being in an area like that. Lots of interesting ideas there. We're working with something that our testers will be able to experience and give feedback on, which is going to be great. I'm so excited for some of those big systems we've been talking about for a while to actually make it in.
Yeah.
We're going to have to wrap up here shortly, but I saw an interesting question in chat here. Zooks is asking, will people be able to seamlessly play together, or will quests and tasks take them or cause them to separate often? This is actually, I'm really glad that you brought that up, because Pantheon, this is where Pantheon stands apart from a lot of the more modern MMOs that you're talking about, Zooks. What Pantheon is about is more about exploration, more about the experience with you and your group. So while there will be quests or storylines that will take you in specific areas, it's not like you're going to have to do those to level up. So some people are going to have some different goals, but you're all going to end up working together anyway. Your primary XP is going to be coming from exploration and from just dungeon crawling and hunting together as groups. And maybe Chris or Brad, you might be able to expand upon that, but I'm glad that you brought that up, Zooks. Thanks.
Yeah, it's more of a, people use the word theme park or sandbox, and we're definitely more of a sandbox game. There aren't quest hubs where you go to a certain area and do all the quests in that area and then go to the next one. You have a lot more freedom of choice. You're rewarded a lot more for working with other people, for exploring the world and not just sitting there in one spot. So that's kind of one of the many aspects that distinguish, I guess, Pantheon from other MMOs.
Well, very cool.
So
I remember somebody with a name like yours, Hive, doing a video on our perception system.
Yeah, that's right. I
Sounds
did do that.
vaguely familiar.
Yeah, if anybody watched that video, that voice would sound awfully familiar. Just saying.
So, Chris, do you think we could run to?
Sorry,
Oh.
I'm just pulling us out here because we're actually out of time. But
Okay.
Yeah.
just wanted to thank everybody.
Well,
So
if
remember,
anybody-
We got the
are
boss, guys.
yeah,
We did it.
and
We did
that was revenge.
How
I mean,
about
we've been
that?
trying that thing for
Yeah,
some
that,
time.
that feels really good.
Yeah, there we go.
It
Yeah,
does.
When
It
you
does.
struggle with something and you go back and you finally prevail, it's a good feeling.
yeah, it really was. So just a reminder that we are large. The game is in pre-alpha, and you can help support the game by going to pantheonmmo.com. There's several different packages that you can pledge, whatever interests you there, lots of different opportunities. We do have a PAX East pledge package available until May 1st, which is Tuesday, I believe, before we're taking it off the store. That will grant you access to pre-alpha. Bear in mind that pre-alpha we're not deeming it as early access. It's more of like a backstage experience where you can actually help contribute to the game at a very, very early stage, much earlier than most dev teams would show their game. That's all available at pantheonmmo.com/PAX. Hive, thank you so much for having us today. We had a lot of fun. So glad we got Fion dead.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Finally.
I was
Yeah.
pumped. Awesome job, guys. Well,
I
thank you all
enjoyed-
so much for
enjoyed
allowing me to stream with y'all. Again, I've been wanting to play this ever since I first hopped into the game. So, and ever since I heard about it, I've been wanting to do a group like this. So, finally, again, hopefully y'all were, happy with the heals.
Yes.
Yeah.
You were
Yeah, you did a great job, man.
natural.
Yep.
Yeah,
So,
thanks
again,
for having us.
Of course. Thanks, guys.
Good job,
And,
Hive.
again, anybody who ever wants to buy the game, go to pantheonmmo.com.
Thanks all.
Thanks all.
Thanks so much for watching, everyone.
All right.
See you again soon.
Thanks.
Adios.
Bye, everyone.
Take care. Bye bye.